I will teach you 10 tips to play Edith like a pro. After this video, you will learn the correct use of her skills and play style and more, starting with Number 1. Many don't know that they can use Edith's ultimate for objectives including turrets, turtles, lords, and even the base. You'll be surprised by how much her basic attack deals, and trust me, at times when you're at the enemy's base and you have a chance to push the base, go for it. You could end the game for your team if they're not that good at focusing on the enemy base, or if they're being targeted by the other enemies and you have the perfect opportunity. Number 2. During teamfights where the enemy has their damage dealers, you should save your CC skills, in case they might want to attack your team after they know you've used your annoying CC. For example, if you and your team are attacking a fighter or tank, you don't necessarily have to use second skill on them, as they don't have much damage to deal on your allies. So, if you save your CC for the right enemy, which is most of the time their assassin or marksman, they won't be able to go in and attack you and your team. Number 3. As Edith, your job isn't to make a huge engage on the enemy team or necessarily be the front line for your team. Instead, what you should do is focus on the enemy back line, where you either catch them by using a flicker combo, along with conceal if you can, or by camping them. But make sure your back line isn't getting focused, as you of course need follow-up and can't deal damage by yourself. It might seem like you can with ultimate, but trust me, it isn't worth risking, because what do you gain from killing the enemy as a roam? Not much unless it's the enemy jungler you're targeting in order to get objectives easier afterwards. Number 4. Edith cannot dash through walls with her second skill alone, but if you use second plus flicker at the same time, it becomes possible. This is good for camping in bushes where you must go over the wall to catch the enemies. Number 5. Since using ultimate lowers your defense stats and instead turns it into magic power, making you more squishy to the enemies, you should be careful when using ultimate. In some situations, you should wait a long time before using ultimate, instead of using it immediately after using your other skills. For example, there is no reason for you to activate ultimate when you're attacking burst heroes but they have Estus, Angela, Florin, or Diggy that heals them too much. Number 6. When stunning an enemy with first skill, you can add a basic attack before using second skill to stun for an even longer period. This is crucial against enemies that can easily escape. That one more second of stun can literally decide things in some teamfights. The only times you shouldn't basic attack after using first skill is when they have tough boots, which reduces 30% time of being stunned. But usually, marksmen and mages don't have tough boots. Another thing you can have timing on is her first plus flicker combo. If you're doing this combo, make sure to wait a bit before flickering after using first skill to catch them easier. Because if you flicker too early, they'll still have time to react and dodge your first skill after you flicker. When it comes to doing the second plus flicker combo, I suggest that you flicker first as it's then easier to stun the enemy. Number 7. As we know, using her ultimate gives you a shield, allowing you to be able to bait the enemies. You can see it as another form of Aegis, which is the battle spell that gives shield and usually catches everyone off guard and makes them unable to kill the one with Aegis. Baiting as Edith is good, but remember to of course watch out for the enemy CC that might stop you from ulting. Number 8. This tip is for all tanks, but you should help your mage clear the minion wave. Because if your mage can't clear the wave fast, they won't be able to rotate and help others. And of course you don't have to all the time, but I'm here to remind you in case you forget. The reason I mention it in this video is because I realized how fast Edith can clear the wave, and how much impact it actually has. Number 9. Heroes Edith counters plus gets countered by. Here's a list of the heroes Edith counters. Here's a list of the heroes that Edith gets countered by. The support heroes don't counter her directly, but her ultimate doesn't do much against enemies with support heroes. Number 10. Build, Emblem, and Battle Spell. These are the builds that I recommend. But of course, it's always better to build according to your specific game and the enemy heroes. Now that you've learned how to play Edith, you should also learn how to turret dive successfully.